Aliens Fireteam Elite received a recent update. It included a few weapons, cosmetic items, and a new class. I covered the phalanx and the laser pistol already, but now let's look at the other three weapons. Let's start off with the minigun. There was a lot of talk around this weapon. Let's look at the stats and see how good or bad it is. But first, there's a little story about this weapon. While the smart aim of their older machine gun still remains popular, many elite units have started to shun the low-skill weapon in favor of more powerful weapons that take a little more effort to utilize. While the spin-up time on the L59 is noticeable, it's not enough to really get in the way, and the power it hits with more than makes up for it. As confirmed Xenomorph XX 1-to-1 outbreaks spread from the frontier and into the outer rim, the three-world empire circulated a request for proposals to provide the Royal Marines commandos with a human portable heavy weapon capable of sustained high-volume fire. Contracts were issued for several, the most curious of which was Weyland-Yutani's human portable, electrically driven rotary minigun, adapted from the Eurolift EL-781 Pallas door-mounted support cannons. Though difficulty to hold on a single target, the L-59 can literally hose down an area with bullets. Recoil and ammunition consumption are severe. Despite the mobility allowed by the minigun's power assist harness, the L-59 is perhaps best employed as a defensive emplacement weapon. Pick a position, preferably close to ammunition resupply, spin up, and smother the field of fire with hot lead. When the L-59 minigun is maxed out to level 4, it gains bonus perks which increase the charge time and fire rate. Here are the attachments I'm using. Tanker Muzzle Brake. I get increased stats to weak point damage by 20%, a 10% boost to stumble chance, and 10% more effective range. It also has a bonus perk of 33% chance to briefly stun enemies on hit. This effect can only occur once every 15 seconds. Miller Twist Rifling. My stability and handling goes up by 20%. It has another perk. With a 20% chance on hit, enemies are slowed by 50% for 10 seconds. Last one is Deep Railed Armature. My reload speed is 30% faster and my max ammo is increased by 20%. The weapon has a spin animation before it starts to fire, which does cause a delay, but once you start shooting, it has a large magazine to empty. The reload animation is not that long, but as I tested it out on Runner and Prowler aliens, I feel as if it's not as powerful as I expected it to be. Even though it does have more damage than the Smart Gun, it still does not have enough to compete with the Smart Gun. Taking down aliens with the Smart Gun seems a lot faster. The tracking feature allows you to find a target and stay locked on. The Smart Gun also has a faster rate of fire, even though it has less damage, but double the magazine size. Groups of smaller aliens are easier to deal with when using a Smart Gun. When I test it out versus a drone or warrior alien, the minigun is lacking some real damage. The slow spin-up delay, smaller magazine size, and the slow rate of fire seems to bring it down a lot. The only benefit to the minigun is that you can freely aim for the weak points on a target. This could help you get more damage, but it's just lacking the real damage that you would expect in a minigun. When you use a Smart Gun on a Xenomorph drone, your tracking crosshair is always locked to the midsection of the body, like the torso, so you can't really get those critical hits on weak points whenever you want. They do happen, but it's all based on your range, the enemy's movement, and their animations when you're shooting. The Smart Gun still seems to outperform the minigun when it comes to groups of runner aliens and even larger ones. Both weapons are using the first attachment, Tanker Muzzle Brake, which gives it a 33% chance to briefly stun enemies on hit. When that happens, you have some more time to get that damage in, but the second attachment is different. Only the Smart Gun can use this one, the minigun cannot. The minigun has Miller Twist Rifling. It only boosts the stability and handling. The bonus perk is a 20% chance on hit. Enemies are slowed by 50% for 10 seconds. But my Smart Gun can use Polygonal Rifling, which gives it 20% more fire rate, and the bonus perk is a 50% chance on hit. Enemies take additional 10% damage for 5 seconds. This effect can only occur once every 15 seconds. The third attachment on both weapons are very similar. They only differ a bit. There's no difference to weak point damage, rate of fire, or an extra perk. So here are the issues with the minigun. The base damage is not enough, the rate of fire is too slow, and it cannot use polygonal rifling. They could make changes to all three of those stats or just use one of them. I think the base damage going up might be enough. You don't want every weapon using the same attachments and having the same rate of fire. Here's another issue. Why is the muzzle flash so blinding on the minigun? If you want people to aim for weak points, the blue flash makes it harder to see sometimes. Either lower its opacity level / make it more transparent, lower the size of the flash, or just remove it entirely. It's another issue that brings the minigun down from being an effective weapon. So if you need an automatic heavy weapon, I'll use the smart gun. I want the minigun to be a viable weapon. It just needs to get a buff somewhere so it can compete or be better than the smart gun. This would encourage more players to choose a weapon that requires more skill. The Type 88 Heavy Assault Rifle is next, and like the minigun, there's a bit of lore attached to the weapon. Weyland-Yutani's Heavy Assault Rifle maintains lethality at range, while also providing a very effective close-range weapon. The recoil is on the high end for a battle rifle, but it packs quite the punch. Intended to counter the dominance of the Kramer assault rifle in the private contracting market, the Type 88 was repeatedly delayed by redesigns, scope creep, and cost overruns. The end result was a good rifle, but not the game changer promised. Most critically, it was too expensive for all the most established PMCs to afford. The entire management of Weyland-Yutani's personal weapons division was required to resign in disgrace. Golden parachute clauses in their contracts on top of the Type 88's lavish marketing. The company paid to have the rifle prominently featured in spy thriller films, required Weyland-Yutani to write down nearly $1 billion in losses. When the weapon is maxed out at level 4, it gets bonus stats to effective range and fire rate, but those don't seem to help it by much because it has low numbers in other categories that just make it worse. The Type 88 Heavy Assault Rifle has two major flaws. It requires you to use attachments that boost its accuracy and stability. Accuracy is the spread of your shots from your crosshair. The higher the number, the closer your shots are together. A high number of stability means it will have less recoil, so it's easier to control in full auto-fire mode. I used these attachments to boost those stats as much as I could, while keeping the default distance for my scope. Ported Compensator gives me a 30% more stability. Quick Draw Magazine gives me another 20% more stability, and Laser Sight will boost my accuracy by 15%. But even with those stats boosted as much as I could, this weapon still suffers from bad accuracy. The shots fired are too far from the center of your crosshair. They shoot all over the place and the stability is not high enough to control the recoil. These two issues are why this weapon does not rank higher than some other weapons. We're going to compare it to other automatic rifles in the same category, and to keep things fair, all of these weapons will have their accuracy and stability boosted with the proper attachments. Here is the L36 Halberd. The accuracy is 82 and stability is at 90. Already, those are better stats. First attachment is Muzzle Brake, which gives me 30% more stability. Then I added Quick Draw Magazine for 20% more stability. Last attachment is Laser Sight, which improves my accuracy by 15%. The accuracy on this weapon is an improvement over the Type 88 Heavy Assault Rifle. The shots are closer to the center of the crosshair. It's a slight difference, but it is noticeable. The recoil is there, but it's not that bad. The Kramer Assault Rifle is next. I was able to get the accuracy up to 78 and stability to 88. That alone has better stats than the Type 88 Heavy Assault Rifle. These are the attachments. Ported Compensator for 30% more stability. Quick Draw Magazine gives me 20% more stability. And Hybrid Sight will give me a boost to accuracy by 30%. Even if the fire rate and magazine capacity is less than the Type 88 Heavy Assault Rifle, the Kramer does have better damage, accuracy, and stability. For an auto rifle that hits hard and slow, the recoil is not that much of an issue. So if you had to choose a weapon with low accuracy and low stability, I think the Kramer is the better of the two. Now let's look at the M41A2 Pulse rifle. With the right attachments, the accuracy can go up to 77 and stability is at 91. The attachments I'm using are muzzle brake for 30% more stability, quick draw magazine, which gives me 20% more stability, and red dot sight, which gives me 15% more accuracy. The M41A2 Pulse rifle has always been pretty good when you look at the accuracy and stability, so improving on those stats just makes it better. Not like the Pulse rifle really needs those attachments anyways, but it depends on what helps you out. Even if you removed all the attachments with accuracy and stability, the Pulse rifle still has better stats than the Type 88 heavy assault rifle. Here's a comparison between these four auto rifles with those attachments on. You can clearly see that the new Type 88 heavy assault rifle has the lowest performance in accuracy and stability. It doesn't matter if one of them has a higher magazine size, faster reload speed, or a bit more damage. If the gun has bad accuracy and the recoil is too much, you're not going to land the shots that you need to. It even says in the lore connected to the weapon, it was meant to compete with the Kramer assault rifle, but after so many delays in redesigning the weapon, it was not what they promised. The weapon was a failure, up to a point where the company lost $1 billion in losses. So to sum it up, it's not a great weapon to use. Even if you increase the stats that bring it down, the other auto rifles are still better. The last weapon we can look at is the L33 Pike Sniper Rifle. The lore about this weapon is this. Weyland-Yutani's L33 was built to be the best in-class sniper rifle, aiming at maximizing damage with a single shot and unmatched accuracy at long range. Unquestionably, the longest range weapon in service. The Pike is loaded with optics and sensors that provide the user with every possible advantage. It includes an onboard gravimeter, barometer, anemometer, thermometer, and hygrometer to precisely measure and automatically adjust for atmospheric conditions. This is the source, the Royal Marine slang expression, "What's the downrange?" for inquiring on the weather. Their snipers have the most accurate meteorological data available. The record for accurate long-distance shooting is held by Warrant Officer Ramia Nandasiri of the Royal Marines Commandos, who used a Pike, orbital slingshot trajectories, and mental computation to hit a target in Mars orbit at perihelion from the Ishikori Dome Solar Mirror Array in Earth orbit. Given the vast distances involved, it took over 2 years for her shot to hit. When you fully upgrade the L33 Pike to level 4, it unlocks perks that improve its accuracy, weak point damage, and stability. It is the highest damaging sniper rifle in the game for now, dealing out 1,350 damage per shot. But the only real downside to it is that it fires one shot, then it has to reload. With the right attachments, you can make it stronger for critical hits. I'm using Tanker Muzzle Brake for 20% more weak point damage and 10% increase to stumble chance and effective range. The extra perk gives me a 33% chance to briefly stun enemies on hit. This effect can only occur once every 15 seconds. The stun effect would be great on larger xenomorphs. Rapid Dispersal Unit. This gives me 25% faster reload speed and an additional 10% reload speed for 8 seconds on hit. This effect stacks 4 times. As long as you keep hitting a target, your reload speed will always be very fast. Last attachment is Tactical Scope. I get 25% more weak point damage and 25% more zoom magnification. Enemies are also revealed for 5 seconds on weak point hit. This extra perk helps a little bit if you need to track an enemy. They appear with a red outline even if they are behind cover. Using this weapon against aliens might be very tricky as they tend to move around a lot. Even with a gunner's overclock ability, it's not a weapon that seems to work well on groups of aliens. You can use a scout rifle and take runners down pretty fast and still have a lot of ammo. the L33 Pike is not meant for this situation, but it does shine somewhere else. It's a weapon that is better suited for slow, single targets. The Recon class will really benefit from this sniper rifle. You can use the default pup to scan all the targets, and this can work on intense difficulty. But if you're going up to extreme difficulty, enemies have more health, so you're going to need more damage and more ammo. I modified my build to get more damage just for sniping. Here's the grid I use for extreme difficulty sniping on synthetics. You will only use 2 mods on the pup ability. You don't need any duration or recharge mods on it. Bloodhound. Send your pups to track a specific target, revealing and marking the enemy, lowering its defenses. Distracting Howl. Pups now also slows affected targets by 30%. This will help you if the synthetics start to move around a bit. Over here on the side with the support drone, your recharge speed should be at 93% and the duration at 42%. Having the drone drop 4 ammo magazines for your team should be enough to keep your ammo supply restocked during combat. Ammo is mainly what you need on extreme difficulty, but you also get some healing with kills as long as you remain within the radius of the support drone when it's active. I have these mods on the support drone: Quick Charge 2, Batteries Included, Extended Duration 4, Quick Charge 4, The Long Haul, Quick Charge 3, Rapid Deployment, and Painkillers. Your support drone now also increases allies' damage resistance by 10%. This is the Focus Kit perk. Getting 2 headshot kills within 10 seconds grants a stack of focus. Each stack increases accuracy and stability by 10%, stacks up to 3 times. I only applied 1 mod to it, Unbreakable Focus. When you are at full stacks of focus, your reload speed and handling is increased by 50%. The last mod here is Red is Dead. You and your teammates deal an additional 10% damage to revealed targets. This will help a little bit if everyone is focusing on the same target. You can take down synthetics with 2 headshots on extreme difficulty with this build, while using the L33 Pike sniper rifle. Because synthetics are easy to spot and they don't move that much, you don't really need the standard pup for this. You can make use of the Bloodhound pup and other changes to your build. You're going to have to use the Bloodhound on every enemy you see. It targets 1 enemy at a time and lowers their defense, so get used to it. The support drone will last long enough to drop 4 ammo magazines and provide some healing on kills. Keep your support drone out whenever you can to give ammo to all your teammates. The pups can be used without exposing your body. You can just use the center of your screen to aim and release the pup. When it's focused on your target of interest, just pop up and blast their head twice to take them down. The damage is really high. Just make constant use of the pups with the Bloodhound mod on it. The L33 Pike sniper rifle is really good for higher difficulty settings versus synthetics. It works very well with a Recon sniper build and a Bloodhound pup. The lore states that this weapon is in current service with Royal Marines Commandos, Colonial Marines, National Services of the Three World Empire and United Americas, private military contractors, but also professional assassins. And that wraps up my review on those 3 new weapons in Aliens Fireteam Elite. Hopefully that gives you a better look at how good or how bad they are. If you want to see where I covered the laser pistol, it's in the Phalanx guide video because that character is able to use that weapon. Please leave a like on the video. If you made it this far, leave a comment, made it to the end. If you leave that comment within 24 hours of this video going live, I will heart your comment in return. To see more content around Aliens Fireteam Elite, just subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. This is Carlos or Acid Glow, and I'll see you next time.